I think the place to start, for me first is even to make the business community itself understand the urgency that's involved in this. We've had various sessions and we've had a lot of engagement, but I think somehow because we've operated business in an environment where we have not been actively engaged with the legislature, a lot of people have learned to find a way to do business without thinking about that segment. And unfortunately, it's a losing game for those of us in business, because even if the minister, the president, whoever is in charge, and an announcement is made or a regulation or whatever is made that favors your business for a time and a season, if it's not embedded in law, it's only a transient act. It means that when the next governor or the next president or the next minister comes, everything can be shut down overnight, which is part of the inconsistency in government policy that we talk about. So what we're actually trying to do through NESG and working with the Bar Association, the business section, and with the support of DFID and everybody that is involved working with the National Assembly in solving this problem is to try and truncate that process of policy somersaults that we have by establishing certain things that are necessary for business to thrive, but establishing them in law rather than in announcements. Now, so what does that mean? It means that the private sector needs to understand that this is life or death for us. It's critical, it's mission critical for business, that the regulations or the legislations that have been identified by NASBA and that is actively being pushed in engagement with the National Assembly, that whatever it is that we need to do to make sure that the laws are passed into operation, that we do that. Also because we know that if this assembly ends in 2019, it doesn't matter. If you see the processes for passing a law, they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 8 processes. Each one can take, well, I guess they're smiling, but they can tell you the amount of time that is involved in moving from one stage to another and the level of engagement and lobbying that is required. And even if you are at stage 7 and this assembly completes its course, we're going to have to start afresh. So for us, it becomes, we don't want to waste our time and our resources. And we're appealing to the members of the assembly that if we prosper, you prosper. If the country prospers, then we all support the politicians in our zone. We support their policies. The country does well, and you can all use those details and data to compete in the next election. And businesses make everybody look good. So at the end of the day, whether it's 104, it's only 104 now, but even if we come up with some more, because we're willing to help, because we're willing to provide the manpower and the resources you need to be able to complete it, we're saying if we need to work 24/7, providing the legal support through the Bar Association, providing human resource through businesses contributing money to get the right manpower for you to drive the resources, we will do it because it's in the interest of all of us. We're talking about growing our economy. We're talking about an economy that is just coming out of recession. We're talking about an inefficient economy, not because we do not have the resources for us to be a great economy, but because things are not working well. And the actual impact of each of these bills can be so rapid, just they are transformational. And when you think about the fact that between 2015, end of 2015, when this process started, and now, you have about 14 bills that are in process. Only 2 have been signed to law. And if we get many more live, the rest of it, the private sector who knows that they need these resources, will then work out the next process. Let's even just complete the laws at the National Assembly. Then we will task ourselves at NESG, working with the rest of the private sector, to make sure that they create the value for which the laws were passed in the first instance.